What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, anyway, let's get into this. A couple of days ago now, Saturday evening, we had Nick Ball versus TJ Doheny. TJ Doheny, the Irishman, who was, I believe, coming off of a loss against the monster Naoya Inoue. So he's coming into this and he got the shot at Nick Ball. And Nick Ball, the nickname, rightfully so, the Wrecking Ball. He's very relentless in his style. Short guy, but he is a featherweight. That's very lightweight. 5'3" but he always finds a way to get the job done. He's absolutely relentless. And in this fight, we saw more of the same. I mean, going into this, I was sort of favoring Nick Ball, and I think the vast majority of people were favoring Nick Ball without even giving it much thought, really, because Doheny is coming off of a loss. He's not, he's a decent fighter, but he sort of comes short at the top level. So you'd think someone like Nick Ball, especially coming off of the loss, he's coming off of Nick Ball, heavy favorite going into this, and that is exactly what happened. Nick Ball was absolutely ruthless in his fight. Started off very fast, tried to throw quick combinations. I would say though that I want to say the first two rounds and at least a section of the third round, Nick Ball was at times being outboxed. I think Doheny done very well, especially those first two rounds. He was keeping Nick Ball at bay for portions of those first couple of rounds, using that southpaw advantage, using that lead foot on the outside, the lead right foot on the outside of the left foot of Nick Ball, probing Nick Ball with the jab and throwing some good straight shots. And Nick Ball wasn't quite able to get off to the best start, at least in those first couple of rounds. It took him those 2, 3 rounds to sort of really get into his rhythm proper. But there was good positive start from TJ Doheny. He done well in those rounds. But it was like after those, when we got to sort of second half of the third round, into the fourth and etc., that's where Nick Ball began to take over. And Nick Ball, to his credit, I mean, I often think of him as a brawler, but he did show certain boxing skills in this fight, like the jab. I felt his jab, looking back on the fight, was very good. It was very fast. It was a piston like jab. So as he was sort of making his going in for the attack, he was quite reckless in what he was doing, but at the same time, he was always using a jab before he comes. So as he's steaming into Doheny, he's always starting with the very fast left jab, and that knocks Doheny's head back. And then as he's thrown that, he's straight into mid to close range and just sort of working away. He likes those hooks, and he was sort of hooking away at Doheny, and it was just consistent pressure all throughout the rounds. And sometimes I felt that he kind of Ball kind of smothered his work a little bit. There were some periods where you felt, okay, he got a bit too close. And there was a few silly things, like the example, the end of the first round where Nick Ball was in a headlock. Doheny had him in a headlock at the end of the first. And then, as he released him from the headlock, Ball turned around and kicked Doheny in the leg, and Doheny fell down. And that was a dangerous thing by Nick Ball. And fortunately, because he's the house fighter, there wasn't a point deducted right there and then. But it very well could have been. Some people say a DQ. Would have been a shame if it was a DQ, but I can sort of understand you kicking out. Doheny was wrong, and the referee spoke to them both after that. But yeah, going back into the fight, it was pretty much the same sort of pattern round after round. TJ Doheny trying to box on the back foot, but it was like Nick Ball was just a bit too fast, too quick. And although he likes to throw those hooks and he likes to load up on the power shots and he throws lots of punches, he's quite accurate with what he throws. So even some of those punches that look wide, some of them that look wild, some of those hooks, a lot of those shots were landing on Doheny. And I just looking at the fight saw the fact that even though sometimes Nick Ball, even when he's not punching, the pressure he puts on you, the pressure he put on Doheny with his feet, you could see that even that was tiring Doheny out. Even that was making him think and making him have to move quickly and try to defend himself and try to get ready for. So very good strategy there by Nick Ball. I mean, that's the only strategy he can have is pretty much to barrel forward and throw punches in punches. And yeah, it definitely really worked to treat in this fight. And eventually, TJ Doheny succumbed to the pressure in the 10th round. I mean, to his credit, he never went down. He was thrown down, sort of thing, in round 9 by Nick Ball, but round 10 he got through that, and he was really under the cosh. The referee was taking a close look. There were even times when he was kind of turning himself away from the punches from Ball. But yeah, he gets through it, and swellings all over the eyes. So you had from round 3 onwards to round 10, including round 10, it was all pretty much going one way traffic, all Nick Ball, relentless pressure, head, body, combinations, and he has the engine to do it for 12 rounds. So the end of the 10th, Doheny makes it back to the corner and his corner pulls him out. And I think that was the right decision because you leave him in there, he goes into round 11, he probably gets stopped in round 11. Even if he makes it through round 11, the damage that he's taken and the punches that he's taken over and over again, because he's becoming more and more fatigued. As I said, that pressure of Nick Ball, even with defeat, even as he's moving into range and you're having to run away and move back from him, that pressure is exhausting to deal with. So I felt right decision. And yeah, credit to Nick Ball for winning that fight. And he won it rather comfortably. It was what we expected, but you still give him credit for doing it. So now, the next fights, there's talk of Inoue moving up, maybe take on Nick Ball, but the sort of immediate talks in the near future, we're going to be talking about probably Stephen Fulton, who's another champ there, where and you're talking about unifications with other champions as well. So for Nick Ball, that's really what I want to see for him next. I want to see him in against, I think the Fulton's a good idea. And you just want to see him in unifications now. I don't want to see him just sort of waiting around for the big fight with Inoue. I think just unify, beat all the try and beat all the champions, prove you're the man, and just carry on. That's my thing. So let me know your thoughts on this fight in the comment section below. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.